Today we'll be learning how to play the kalimba. The kalimba is an easy-to-play instrument that originates from Africa. Commonly made of wood, kalimbas have long metal rods that are capable of playing high-pitched notes when plucked. Before you play the kalimba, we have to make sure that it's properly tuned. Most of the time, when you buy your kalimba, it comes to you already tuned. That means that you don't need to do any kind of tuning and are able to play your kalimba right away. But if you feel like your kalimba is out of tune, then I have a separate tuning video in the description, which you can check out. Once your kalimba is tuned, then let's start. Starting with the first step, how to properly hold your kalimba. Place your thumbs on top of the kalimba with the rest of your fingers wrapping around it, like this. You can also place the kalimba on a flat surface for you to be able to play with the rest of your fingers, like this. This allows you to play more complex songs because you are able to use your other fingers to hit the other notes at the same time. It is important to note to not cover the two holes at the back of your kalimba because your kalimba won't sound right. Next, let's produce a sound. Hit a tine with your thumbnail like this. The tine should vibrate after you flick it. Practice hitting the tine with your nail until it resonates. When you're first starting off playing, your thumbs may get a little painful, especially as a beginner who plays and practices the kalimba for hours. But worry not, because eventually your thumbnails will get used to this. For people who can't grow their thumbnails, then there's an easy solution for this. There are these accessories called Alaska picks, which you can purchase in your music store or order online. On to the next step. Alternate between both thumbs for progression. Unlike a piano, the kalimba notes alternate, fanning out from the center of the instrument. With this in mind, let's do our first warm-up basic exercise. First, we'll need a metronome. You can purchase one from a music store or download an app on your phone. I'll link the Metronome app I'll use in the description. Set your metronome at 4/4 measure and 100 beats per minute. Using the metronome as a guide, let's go up and down the C major scale. First, let me show you how it's done. Let's start. This basic warm-up exercise is great for you to get comfortable with the kalimba. Going up and down the scales help you identify the notes easier, close to each other, and alternating as well. Let's try our second warm-up exercise by playing with the octaves. Let's start with finding the C, which is the longest tine in the middle of your instrument. Now find the C one octave higher. This can also be identified with a single dot on top. So the C in the middle and the C on top. So play this both together. Let us try our second warm-up exercise by playing the octaves. Set your metronome at 4/4 measure and 80 beats per minute. First, let me show you how it's done. Let's start with exercise number 2. This is a great thing to practice because most songs require this kind of knowledge, and it will also help you easily identify similar notes on the kalimba. Combine single notes and chords to create your own song. One great way to understand this is through arpeggios. An arpeggio is a chord or a group of notes played a single note at a time. Most songs use this kind of pattern, so you will encounter this a lot throughout your kalimba journey. Here is an example of a C major arpeggio. Starting from the lower note, C. Do you remember the last exercise? C and 1 octave higher C. Now just hit the 2 tines next to it. And lastly, the higher C. Now go back down. Now that is an arpeggio. For the final exercise, we'll be playing the arpeggios. Set your metronome at 3/4 measure and 100 beats per minute. First, let me show you how it's done. Let's start with the final exercise. These exercises are a nice way to introduce yourself to the kalimba and get comfortable with the times. Beginners will need time to get used to the placement of the keys and get comfortable with the kalimba, so it's important to practice a lot to improve your kalimba playing. I'm the kind of person who likes to take up new challenges, and that's why I've always been fascinated with learning new instruments. But sometimes along the way, I get discouraged because I don't feel like I'm improving enough or that the instrument is a bit too hard for me. And that's why the kalimba is such an amazing instrument, because I've never felt that frustrated and intimidated like other instruments. But what I discovered throughout my kalimba journey is that it's difficult to find kalimba classes or lessons that are formatted for step-by-step learning. Along the way, I would pick up songs that required a certain skill level, and it would have saved me a lot of struggle if I knew that this song needed more experience. I remember I needed a whole month to learn just one song.
So it gave me an idea to fill that gap, so that kalimba learners like you and I have a place to get structured kalimba classes that's accessible for everyone. What I made is a collection of songs on the kalimba, arranged in order so you know where you can start and then improve your playing as you progress to the next one. This way, there's no need to jump from an advanced song to a beginner one to an intermediate one. I've designed these free lessons to make up a full course to help you progress step by step from being a beginner to an advanced player. On top of these free lessons, there are free guides and other more resources like sheet music, ebooks, and music tabs to support your learning. And if learning by yourself isn't your style and you learn best with a teacher, I now host live classes for kalimba beginners. There are so many good things that come from learning the kalimba. That's why I wanted to share these great experiences I've had learning this instrument by making it as easy as possible for anyone to learn.
This community I built for everyone who love the kalimba like I did has all the resources you need to get started and be great at it. So I hope you decide to take this new and exciting journey with me. Thank you for watching.